You betcha. Hello, everybody. We are officially live here with the second live episode of the Sunday Talks podcast. I'm Tim. This is we're going to be talking horror movies today. So mainly The Conjuring, because we got Annabelle Creation coming out this upcoming Friday. And we recently watched all 3 movies in the Conjuring universe so far. You're a little tired there.
I am.
We got Maggie.
We stayed up late watching Annabelle last night.
We did. We watched Annabelle last night. It was probably the most magical experience. Good thing we had a couple drinks in us.
Yeah.
I think that helped a little bit with Annabelle. So yeah, we're going to be talking Conjuring and give our thoughts on those movies and then horror movies in general. If you're watching and you've got some that you want to jump into the comments. For the 3 of you that'll probably watch tonight. It'll be great. It'll be great. What are you pointing at?
Nothing.
Was there a lag?
No.
Oh boy. All right. So why don't we start off with the first Conjuring movie, directed by James Wan. What do you think of this movie, Maggie?
It's good. It's scary.
Yes, spooky. Spookyville Central.
I get scared really easily, fun fact, and usually I can't look at the TV because I just close my eyes or I do one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets mad. But I think The Conjuring was the first horror movie where I watched it all the way through because, fun fact, we watched The Conjuring on our first date. And so I was scared, or I wasn't scared, but I was nervous about the whole being on a date thing. So I watched the whole movie, and that was definitely scary.
It was a good time.
Yeah, it definitely starts out slower than the second one, where there aren't a lot of things happening.
Well, I think it starts with a bang with the Annabelle stuff.
Well, right.
But then yeah,
I mean, with the family, when they're introducing the family and all that stuff, I feel it's a lot slower. There are a lot more incidents where it's the blankets are being moved,
sure,
or the doors are opening, and there's
sure.
a lot more of that. And then all of a sudden, you hit a point, when the Warrens show up, and there's all these swinging bodies and all of this stuff happens all of a sudden. It gets really intense.
It gets really intense really fast.
The second one, it's more all the way through there's stuff going on.
Yeah, my experience with The Conjuring the first time was it was coming out, and this was at a time in my life where I forced myself to see literally every single movie that came out in the theater because I had the means to see free movies at the theater. I still do, but this was before I started working for a movie theater. So I had the means to see everything, so I saw everything. And I was planning on going to see this movie, and at the time, I think I was about to turn 18, because it was summer 2013 that the first Conjuring came out. And my girlfriend at the time was before Maggie, and she was not 17, so she couldn't see the movie. So I really wanted my buddy Mitch to come with me. I'm like, Mitch, we're going to go see The Conjuring. It's going to be the greatest thing ever. We're going to have so much fun. And he was like, nah, nope, too spooked.
He doesn't like horror movies either.
Yeah, he was like, nope. Well, I think he's okay now. He still gets spooked. But he was like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not in the mood. And so I forced him against his will to go and see the movie with me. He got scared shitless, but it was a great experience. And so we saw the movie. I loved it. I think I saw the first one 3 times in the theaters. Really, really enjoyed it. So naturally, when they announced they're going to do a prequel called Annabelle, I was like, okay, that could be interesting. I really liked The Conjuring. I thought it was really good. And so yeah, let's check out what this Annabelle thing's all about.
It was really boring.
So we watched it. So I saw Annabelle in the theater. She had never seen it before. So I had the pleasure of seeing it in the theater. It's atrocious. It's so bad.
I mean, it wasn't so bad. It was just
nothing happens.
It's a really generic horror movie.
It's boring.
It's average.
It's boring.
Yeah, nothing it's that classic they have a baby and then the demon wants the baby and
yeah, it's just really.
And then all of a sudden the lady kills herself at the end and you're just
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. And it was just all
we will talk spoilers.
We weren't really paying that much attention to it, to be honest, because the beginning was really boring. So we just completely checked out. And then all of a sudden the ending was happening, and I was like, wait, how do they know this lady again? why is she just randomly sacrificing her life for their child? It was
a weird movie. We did not enjoy it.
No.
I remember when seeing it in the theater. I didn't see it right when it came out because I think I was working and just like things kind of piled up, and I didn't have a chance to go see it right away. So I think I saw it like the second or third weekend it was out. And I went like on one of my days off at like noon, and was in like the smallest auditorium in the theater. I was the only one in the theater, and I just remember sitting there thinking to myself, like, this is what they follow up The Conjuring with. And I get the whole, like, it took some, like, The Conjuring came out in, I believe, June or July, I think July of 2013, and Annabelle came out October of 2014. So it was over a year, so that obviously The Conjuring comes out, it's a big hit, and they're like, let's rush another movie. I don't think they had this idea of an Annabelle movie prior to The Conjuring coming out. I don't think they saw it at all. I think The Conjuring came out. It was a huge hit. I think they knew that it was going to do well because you have James Wan, and James Wan does have a very like big like I don't want to say cult following, but he's got his fans, whether it be for Saw or Dead Silence or the Insidious movies, and those are obviously those do really well, and Sony releases the Insidious movies, so I think they knew like we're gonna like. He made a really good movie, and I think they were thinking, if this does well, we'll do a sequel, which inevitably happened. But I don't think they were like thinking about Annabelle, and then all of a sudden,
people reacted well to that.
To Annabelle, well to the whole movie. But oh my God, Annabelle was so creepy. Right. She was in all the marketing. She opens the film and ends the film, so it's just kind of like. That was the crux of the iconic part of the movie, and so they like.
That's the iconic part.
Well, to us.
Yeah.
But I think if most people you ask them about The Conjuring, they would say Annabelle before they would do that. So, anyway, those are my thoughts. But so they rush into putting this thing into motion. And then this movie happens, and it's a disaster.
Did it make a lot of money?
No, I don't think so. It got slaughtered by the critics. Didn't make a ton. I think it did fairly well.
Yeah.
Excuse me, for like a horror movie in October. The other thing about these movies, and while I like it, it takes some balls on Warner Brothers to make these R-rated movies because all three of them are R-rated, and you get a movie like Lights Out that comes out last summer,
PG-13,
which we're going to talk about shortly. It's PG-13.
Wasn't Ouija Origin of Evil?
Was PG-13. So a lot of these,
all the kids, that's really like from working at a movie theater. I can tell you, it's all those little children that want to, and by children I mean like 10 and 12 and 13 and 14-year-olds
between the ages of 11 and 15.
Right, those are the kids that they get together in a group and they come together and they sneak in all their candy and then they scream the entire time and then we have to kick them out.
Yep. So I mean, it takes a lot for like, especially the first Conjuring. We were talking about how
it doesn't need the R until like the last
right at the last minute. They could have easily gotten away with cutting a couple things, doing a couple things to the movie to make it PG-13 rated. But what they did instead is they made it R-rated, and you know what? That's like good on them. I don't think the first one necessarily had to be. And I don't think necessarily Annabelle had to be either. I think
I think the only thing that was like R-rated in Annabelle was like the beginning-ish part where they get their like neighbor's estranged daughter comes.
Yeah, that is
because there's a lot of blood in that.
There's a lot of blood in that.
But otherwise, I feel like there's really.
I think
and maybe the demon thing that like follows her, like.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the R rating more or less comes from just the actual impact of the scares and the horror in the first one.
I guess
it's scary, so I mean, like it does leave you with a little bit of like. I understand why it was rated R. I don't think it had to be. The Conjuring 2, on the other hand,
that was rated R.
That was rated R. Yeah. We watched The Conjuring 2 today, actually. So I mean, we had seen it before. I saw it twice in the theater. Maggie saw it once. She made me see it first without her, and then
I did not make you.
Well, you didn't want to see it.
Well, because I tend to not do well. I tend to hide. Like when we saw Lights Out, I barely watched it. To be honest.
It's true.
But when we saw Conjuring 2, I watched pretty much the whole thing.
Yeah, and it's really good.
It is.
I think it's right neck and neck with the first one for me.
I think I'd put it maybe right over the first one.
Really?
Well, just because of like what I was saying before, how there's just like more things happening.
Yeah.
My only other complaint, I guess, about the second one is that there's the three different like villains happening, and you don't realize until the end that they're like all connected. I guess. I mean, maybe you do, but like it's definitely more all over the place. Where like in the first one, it's Annabelle at the beginning, and then it's Annabelle. Well, I guess she's sort of in the middle too.
In the middle, like
a
towards
little
the
bit,
end,
like with their daughter, but more
Yeah.
or less it stays focused on the witch.
Bathsheba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
Yeah. My biggest complaint about The Conjuring 2 is the Crooked Man, and I think the Crooked Man as a character is pretty cool. I think though the animation of the Crooked Man is
I liked how different it was.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't.
No.
I don't like the way that he looked. I thought he was cool and the way that they used him, but I thought the way that he looked it kind of took away a little bit for me. But the nun is creepy AF, and then the old man Will.
You feel so bad for him.
Yes,
Bill. William.
Yeah, there you go. I was half right. Yeah. Half right. So those are the three movies that we have out. What is happening? What is happening to my voice, people? So my voice, so the next movie in this series is coming out next week. It's called Annabelle Creation.
Yep.
Now I remember right after the first Annabelle came out, they announced Annabelle 2. And I remember thinking to myself, But why? Where do you go? Right. Where do you go from here? Well, not only because the first movie was meh, but because you have a tried and true product with The Conjuring and The Conjuring 2. Both received very well critically, and mostly due to James Wan they killed it at the box office. Very well movies. So I understand Annabelle makes a little money. They're cheap movies to make. I understand. I get it. But why not just like put all of your time and effort into The Conjuring 3? Well then, so for like a year, I'm thinking to myself, I don't care. I don't care about The Conjuring or about Annabelle 2. I don't care. Well then last summer, this movie called Lights Out comes out. Right. And it's really good. And the director of that, David F. Sandberg, is then hired to direct Annabelle Creation, or Annabelle 2 at the time is what it's called. So I'm still like, I don't like Annabelle. I'm not really excited, but this shows some promise. Mm-hmm. Well, then they tell you, well, it's going to be a prequel. And I'm like, okay, so it's going to be a prequel to the prequel of the movie I like. Okay, let's give it a go. And then these things start happening. And I know these movies have nothing to do with each other, but that first Ouija movie sucked. And then there was a prequel. And it was great. That was pretty good. And it was coming from another director that did a horror movie I liked, and that's Mike Flanagan, who did Oculus. Yeah. And he did Ouija Origin of Evil, and it was great. Yeah. And now we've got Annabelle Creation, and I'm thinking, okay, this could be interesting. And then that first teaser came out for Annabelle Creation. I don't know if you've seen it. I don't think I've seen any teasers or anything. Yeah, and I think it was before they even were calling it Annabelle Creation. I think it was still called Annabelle 2, because I remember... I don't even think there was a title card in the teaser, but I remember seeing the teaser in the theater, and it just said, like, August 2017, and I was like, ooh, okay, all right, Annabelle 2. Like, this might actually not be that bad. And then all of a sudden one day, I'm on Rotten Tomatoes, 100%. Annabelle Creation. What? And I went, interesting. What? And granted, there's only like 20 reviews or so. Right. But that's 20 people that are giving it a positive review. And then someone that I really trust, Perry Nemiroff from Collider, said that it's great. Didn't Chris Stuckman say it was good too? Chris Stuckman also really liked it, if I'm remembering correctly from his review. So all of a sudden, I'm really looking forward to seeing Annabelle Creation. Yeah. Which is bizarre, considering how not excited I was a year ago. Or even 2 years ago, even a year ago, even 6 months ago. Right. So I think we're looking forward to it. You a little sleepy? Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh boy. I was gonna say something, but I forget. Oh, my issue though, I don't understand why they're calling it Annabelle Creation, because we saw the creation of Annabelle Keep talking.
We saw the creation of Annabelle in the first one, because in The Conjuring they say, it's whatever, it was the girl Annabelle Higgins and blah 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 blah, and Annabelle Higgins is the crazy lady that breaks into their house and stabs her in the stomach, and that eventually I think she gets shot by the police. And
yeah, she gets taken out.
And her blood drips onto the doll and soaks into the doll, and it's really freaking weird.
Yeah, it's
but I feel like that was the creation. So I guess it must be about the cult that she was in.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to.
Something
well,
like that.
And it looks like it's taking place a lot even earlier than.
Right, because that one was in the
50s or 60s, and I think
this one's gonna be in the 30s or 40s.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll have to see. They also just confirmed that there's going to be post-credit scenes in Annabelle Creation, which gets to my next topic, which is, this. Oh, hey, Sarah, how's it going? This gets into the next thing I wanted to mention, which is the Conjuring universe. Now, while I didn't realize this until about a couple, maybe 2 months ago, there was a poster in the theater that I work at for Annabelle Creation, and at the top it said, "The next thrilling chapter in the Conjuring universe." And I went, oh, okay. I'm excited for the movie, but a Conjuring universe. This is officially a thing.
Wait, is this for Annabelle?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So it's this is what it says on the poster, the next chapter in the Conjuring universe. And it's okay, so we've got 2 Conjuring movies that are both really good, a really crappy Annabelle movie, and now, hypothetically, a really good one.
Yeah.
And then they're also making The Nun.
The Nun.
And The Crooked Man.
I feel like they're gonna change those names eventually.
It just, it's...
Because they're branching off of those bajillion villains that were in Conjuring.
But do we need it? Do we need this?
If they're good.
That's the thing. Is
to be honest.
I hope Annabelle Creation is good, and then I just I need to see footage before I can judge whether or not I think anything is going to be really great. Maggie's looking at the chat.
Sorry.
Who we got? Steven. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, Steven, but I work for Marcus Theaters. I love my job. I love my job.
I used to work for Marcus Theaters.
Yeah,
I do other things now.
Yeah, it's good times. But yeah, it's like any other job when you're managing a movie theater. It's like managing a Target or anything like that. It's just,
Yeah.
It can be a lot sometimes, but overall I love it because I get to see free movies. I can talk about movies with you guys. It's good stuff. And then what is Sarah saying?
She's saying that it's been a long time since a horror movie came out. We're talking about Conjuring 2 that came out last year.
Yes, Sarah, come on.
What the heck? Did you not see Don't Breathe?
Okay, we'll get we'll get there. So anyway,
Ouija?
We're gonna get there. So anyway, the Conjuring universe thing is I don't think we need it. I don't think we need the Marvel Cinematic Universe of horror movies, horror movie version. I don't think.
Well, they've got to compete with the Dark Universe now.
The dark universe. Movie theater pay does not suck if you know what you're doing.
Management.
Well, if you're in management, honestly, just to go off on this tangent, and then we'll get back to horror movies. Sorry. I recommend to anybody. A lot of people are work in a restaurant. That's a good first job.
I understand.
Work in, a McDonald's or something. I think the best first job anyone can have is working in a movie theater. You get customer service. You learn how to handle money.
Mm-hmm.
You learn how to just take care of your own tasks. And while you can do all of that at other places, it's fun. My first job was in a restaurant. I didn't have any fun. It wasn't fun.
I worked at a banquet.
And granted, I love movies, so for me to be able to talk about movies with customers was a perk for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think I don't know a single person that just doesn't like any movies, that just hates movies. There are people who love movies.
I'm sure there are people like that out there somewhere.
No, but I know. But I'm saying that everybody at least has seen a movie. It's something that people can talk about. So
vampires.
What? Chris Tuckman and Jeremy Jahns. Which one do I like better?
I like Jeremy Jahns better, but just because his videos are more entertaining, but I do really like Chris too.
I like them for different reasons. I like Chris because he analyzes a movie, and I like Jeremy Jahns because of his humor. Good vampire movie. Oh boy,
I can't think of the last Witch Hunter. That wasn't vampires.
Oh, that wasn't vampires. Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, going back to horror movies.
Focus.
2016. We're not. This is just what I'm talking about for a second. Well, then we'll get to my favorites. 2016 was a great year for horror movies. Sarah, check some of these out. We got The Witch came out.
Oh yeah, I forget The Witch.
The Witch is great. Highly recommend The Witch. I've seen that movie like 3 or 4 times.
I've seen it once, but we should watch it.
It sticks with you. You don't forget.
It hurts you on the inside.
You don't forget that movie overnight. And then, like we said, Lights Out, Conjuring 2, Don't Breathe, Ouija, Origin of Evil. There were quite a few really good horror movies.
Horror knocked it out of the park this past year.
Yeah, the only one that like comes to mind that like I remember seeing that I just did not like at all was The Forest.
And there was that found footage one that was a sequel.
Oh, Blair Witch.
Blair Witch.
I liked Blair Witch quite a bit.
It was alright.
I liked Blair Witch quite a bit. Write these down and give them to me. Yeah, I can do that, Sarah. Not a problem. Yeah, Don't Breathe. I did not see that Kate Beckinsale one.
Wasn't that
Steven, The Disappointments Room?
Oh, is that one? What is the one? There was another bad one that we didn't see. They were like, it had Naomi Watts, I think, in it.
Shut In.
That one.
I did not see that. We tend
to not see bad ones if we know ahead of time that they're really, really,
and
really bad.
Where I found out that those movies sucked was Chris Stuckman. So, Chris, thank you for seeing crappy movies. So
we don't have to.
I don't have to, but now that I'm reviewing them, it's like, okay, I gotta see these movies.
Yeah, warn everyone else.
Yeah, just warning everybody else, like the Emoji Movie. That's a horror movie. You want to talk about horror movies? It's the Emoji Movie.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, it's.
And then, I know that you're talking 2016, but throwback to 2015. No, I don't remember if that was 2015 or 2014, but It Follows is like
2015. It Follows is great. That's one
of my. If you haven't seen it, you need to.
I believe it's on Netflix. So Sarah, check out It Follows if you haven't seen it. It's great. I love It Follows. Mm-hmm. If we're going all-time favorite classic horror movie.
That's easy.
Or at this, I think we know at this. So 3, 2, 1. Halloween. Okay.
Yeah.
So Halloween is by far
the best.
My favorite horror movie ever made. And it's so close with Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, they are like neck and neck. But every time I watch, like, I'll watch both of them like very close. And then I'm just like, in my brain, I'm like, yeah, they're so close. And then I think about it and I'm like, nah, Halloween's better.
Yeah.
No, we are not brother and sister. That's terrifying.
That'd be weird.
No, we are soon to be husband and wife. So definitely not brother and sister, but nice one.
My brother was on the last Sunday Talks podcast, though, if you go and look at that.
Wes Craven, New Nightmare is amazing. I think the first Halloween movie is my favorite of all time, but the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise as a whole, the sequels for me, like the sequels get worse, but the sequels get worse in Halloween too. So like Halloween 1 and 2 are both really good. And 3 is Season of the Witch it's very weird. It's different. And if you are okay with that, then you'll get over it. But 4 I like, and then 5, 6, 7, 8 it just gets meh.
H2O is good.
It's fine. Whereas Nightmare on Elm Street, for me, and again, I think it's because of when I saw them. I saw them at an age that I should not have seen them at. But the first one is, nobody can deny the first Nightmare on Elm Street is a classic. It's a horror classic. It changed the genre. And the second one, I like in its weird, like, gay undertone, like, bizarre Freddy's Revenge way. I enjoy it. And then Dream Warriors is a classic. I think people could argue that. And then they just get even weirder. So for the Dream, I think it's the Dream Master, and then we've got Dream Child, and Freddy's Dead, I won't argue, it is awful. It's terrible. But for me, it's so bad that it's good. Like,
I haven't seen
so
the
terrible.
Nightmare on Elm Street series yet. We're gonna be doing that this Halloween.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
And then you know what series is right neck and neck with Nightmare on Elm Street for me?
Other than Halloween, Saw.
Saw.
Saw's pretty good.
I'm so excited for Jigsaw, guys. Like, I can't even explain. Saw is like another one that I saw at a very impressionable age. And fun fact, I saw them like all out of order. I think I saw the second one first, and then watched the first one, and then watched the third one.
Yeah, I saw them in order.
Yeah, I love Saw.
Saw's pretty good. Jigsaw. I'm very excited.
It looks terrible.
I mean, I don't have high expectations,
but I'm excited. Fine. Yeah, Saw is the best. I freaking love Saw.
Yeah, the sequels are. I mean, there's the first one obviously is great, and then the second one is good, and the third one is good too. And then they get gross, and I can't watch them, to be honest. And then the newest one I like because Wesley's in it again.
Wesley, yeah. I have a feeling that Stephen Markle is not Stephen Markle.
Why?
Because he's bringing up War Room, and only people that know me very well know my feelings on the movie War Room from 2015. So I'm on to you, Steven. I'm on to you. But
War Room is bad.
War Room's really bad. I actually didn't mind Woodlawn.
Is Woodlawn a horror movie? I don't know what that is.
No, those movies are Pure Flix films.
Oh, they are? Nice.
Which is, again, why I'm thinking that maybe Steven isn't who he says he is, or he's using a little bit of a pseudonym here. But yeah, no, Saw is the best.
Saw's really good.
Like, I actually really love Saw. Are you looking for other horror movies?
Horror movies that are good.
We were throwing out other recent ones. Green Room. I know you haven't seen it, but A24, one of Anton Yelchin's last movies.
I mean, and I don't think Split counts as a horror movie. It's more of like a thriller type of thing, but Split was good.
I enjoyed Split.
Mean, and The Visit wasn't that long ago. That wasn't terrible.
Okay. It was okay.
It was fine.
I liked it.
Yeah.
You know, the one really famous horror franchise that I can just never get into?
Not Freddy versus Jason. That's a movie in it.
That movie is
Friday
incredible.
the 13th.
Freddy versus Jason is incredible, and I will fight anyone any day of the week. That movie is amazing. That movie is incredible. Stephen King movies, It.
Haven't seen any of them. Well, not true. I saw The Shining. Shining was good.
And we saw The Dark Tower.
That's not a horror movie.
It's a Stephen King movie that sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually just got It. We're gonna watch it soon and review it
so that I can make it through. Because he said that he doesn't think that he can take me to see the new It movie because he thinks that I'm gonna be freaking out the whole time and it's gonna bother him.
Yep.
So, yeah, we're gonna watch the originals so that I sort of know what's going on, and that way, hopefully, I will be able to sit through it with my eyes open.
I'm so excited for this It movie.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been this excited for a horror movie since probably, what did I say the other day? Oh, I was comparing it to something. I haven't been this excited for a horror movie in a very, very, very long time. I'm super looking forward to
Conjuring?
Well, I was excited for the first Conjuring, but not in like I saw the previews and I thought it looked good and I liked James Wan. It wasn't like, but this just like, it looks incredible.
Yeah.
It just looks terrifying, like absolutely terrifying. So I'm looking forward to it quite a bit. There's not a lot of other horror movies like this year. Like, what have we gotten in the realm of horror this year?
2017? Well, Ouija came out. Oh, no, that was October, yeah.
Do you guys know what do we got? The Masked. Okay.
Stop.
All right.
Fine.
No, we know who he is. So anyway, yeah, what has come out in 2017 that is The Babai Man.
Yes.
The Babai Man is a terrible, terrifying film. We walked out of The Babai Man.
We did.
This is going to bother me. You keep talking about ones you like while I find out what else came out in 2017.
47 Meters Down, that's a horror film. Walked out of that too.
It definitely could be considered a horror movie. I don't necessarily consider it that way, but...
Yeah. Well, and then, so yeah, we have Annabelle August, It in September. I feel like there's something coming out in October too, and I was like, you guys...
Jigsaw.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jigsaw.
If you count Underworld, but I don't. And then we got The Babai Man, we got Split. Rings.
Oh yeah.
I saw that.
Didn't
That movie
see that one.
sucked. It was a lot of, which one are we talking about? It was a lot of suspense and thrillers. I don't know what you mean, Sarah, but yes, it probably was. 50 Shades Darker.
Oh yeah, Get Out. Don't appreciate the language though.
Oh yeah, that did come out. That's a great movie.
It is.
Very, very good movie. A Cure for Wellness. I think you could argue.
Hated Cure for Wellness.
I think you could argue. I really liked A Cure for Wellness, but that's me. Life. You didn't like Life?
No, because it just was like a complete alien ripoff, and I didn't appreciate it.
Yeah, that's okay. What else we got? Alien Covenant. I bet you can argue.
I would
that
argue
horror.
that's a horror movie. Yeah, Alien was great.
You know what's not a horror movie, but still a perfect movie? That came out this year. It Comes at Night.
Right, that's definitely a suspense type of thing.
And then again, the Emoji Movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're good. And then A Ghost Story. Very spooky.
Not a horror movie.
Very spooky.
Not a horror movie.
Life was more sci-fi. Yeah, it was. I still liked it.
That was one of the movies where like I was not in a great mood when we watched it, and I was not feeling the horror vibes that they had. So that's one of the movies where I just sort of sat there like this.
In which one?
In Life.
Oh yeah.
I like did not watch it a lot.
No.
No.
Yeah. So there's like a lot of like I'm trying to think too like the way they.
The Shallows, is that a horror movie?
Yes, man.
That's
The
good.
Shallows is a fun shark movie. The Ghost Story made you cry. I mean, it's a weepy type of film, I guess. It's sad. It's a sad one. It did not make me weep.
Yeah.
But I think like the big ones for me will always be Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street.
I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I've only seen the remake. I haven't seen the original.
Because you won't.
Why?
Every time I've offered to watch it, you've said, nah.
Okay, so
spooky.
I like never watched horror movies before we started dating, and then the first like month of our relationship, all we did was watch horror movies.
Yeah.
And like we watched the Halloween, we watched Nightmare on Elm Street, and then we watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and that was the first one where I was like really scared watching it. Like, because Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street, like they're scary, but like not really.
They're suspenseful.
Yeah, and like they aren't like, I don't know, but yeah, this one was Texas Chainsaw got me.
The remake is good. I contend that it's one of the better remakes out there. Unlike and while I like Rob Zombie's Halloween movie, it's not great. But that Texas Chainsaw movie was way better than the Nightmare on Elm Street remake or the Friday the 13th remake for sure. That movie sucks. So it's one of the better ones for sure. So anyway, guys, I think that kind of wraps up our conversation here on horror movies. We've got a couple of you that have actually been chatting in the chat. So if you guys have any questions, Tim, did I see the leaked photos of Luke Skywalker's death by Kylo Ren? Do you think it will be the Force Awakens box office? I am going to assume that this question is not serious and answer it in a sarcastic way by saying, oh my God, I can't believe that was leaked. I'm so upset.
Did that actually happen?
No, I don't. That couldn't have happened.
I feel like Collider would have covered that, and we would have seen that.
Yeah, I would have known. But on a serious note, The Last Jedi will not beat The Force Awakens box office.
You don't think so?
It's okay because
I think it might.
Stephen Markall is going to complain about The Last Jedi, whether it's amazing.
If you're Ben Bates.
I mean, you can flat out say it. I'm glad that you know who I think Stephen is before you even get
going. Or he
going.
might just be like a nice man that's watching our thing. So
that brings up the Masked Saint. You think that out of the two people that are watching this, being Sarah and Steven, apparently, that Steven just knows about the movie The Masked Saint.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
The Masked Saint. We should do a whole episode on Pure Flicks.
No.
Do an entire episode about...
There are very few God movies that I've seen that I have liked, so...
Those are horror movies. War Room, God's Not Dead. Those are the real horror movies. So yeah, if you guys have anything else you want to add into the comments, any questions that are legit, we'll try to answer them. I don't think if we don't get any in the next couple minutes,
we'll wrap it up.
We'll wrap it up here. So yeah, Sarah, we gave you a ton of options.
Yes.
A ton of options to watch. The go-to ones, I know The Witch is on. Well, yeah. See, I'm telling you right now. So write these down. The Witch, it's on Netflix. It Follows, it's on Netflix.
Get Out if you haven't seen it.
If you haven't seen Get Out, Get Out was really good. Miracles from Heaven is another horror. Yes. Yeah, I did not like that one either.
That one was better than usual, I feel like.
I don't even think that was PureFlix.
I don't think it was either.
No, I don't think it was.
But it had like real actors in it.
Like Queen Latifah.
Yeah.
And
my mom cried at that movie. We saw that with my mom.
Yes, we did. That was a treat. Just a treat. Well, anyway, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for us tonight.
Yep.
Don't know what we're going to be talking about next week, if anything. Next week is my birthday, so I don't know if we'll be doing an episode next week. It might just be the normal audio-only version. But if we do decide to do another live stream, we will put it up promptly to let you know when and decide what we're talking about.
What comes out? Well, Annabelle, and then...
The Glass Castle is coming out. I just subbed. Well, thank you, Steven. I am so appreciative of you and your love for the horror movies. I'd love to.
I feel like this is definitely a person that knows us then, if you're asking me about that.
It could be James.
It could be James.
Could be James. I apologize to the rest of my 17 viewers who are confused by what we're talking about, but that's okay. You'll get over it.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to hit that like button, hit subscribe. It helps me out a great deal so that we can do some fun stuff like this, just chatting. I want this to feel like we're all sitting around having a crisp Red's Apple Ale.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. And just talking movies. That's exactly what I want this to be. So if you have any other ideas about how we can make this more interactive for you, leave a comment in the comments below.
If you have other ideas of what we should talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Or beautiful guests to have on. We've got a couple people lined up. We just got to find out wonderful topics for them to come out and talk about. So, like I said, guys, be sure to hit that like button.
Yes. Yes. I don't like him either.
He's okay. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. And until next time, have a good one.
Bye.